All right, y'all, what's going on? What's going on? All right, so today I'm eating pepper steak, okay? So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and subscribe. Even if you haven't subscribed, definitely go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell so you get notifications the next time we post a video. Leave us some comments down below. Let us know things you like to see us try, things you like to see us cook, interact with us, because we do like to hear from you. I'm going to say grace and get started. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this food that we're about to receive for nourishment so our bodies in health. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. So I was doing meal prep on the live on Saturday, and before I did the salads, this is what I had prepped or what have you, because my guy and I were going out on the truck again, so I was meal prepping for us to have food, even though we mess around. Well, he ate 2 of the salads. I didn't eat a salad, but then we just kept getting stuff like okay, let me start eating first. Okay, so this is pepper steak. But I thought it was some sort of beef teriyaki, but I asked my sister, and sorry, I'm eating it out of this container because I just didn't, but let me see if I can prop it up. Yes, I don't know, prop it up a little bit so y'all can see. Okay, so I asked my sister, where I was telling her that I had made it, and I was like, what is it called? And she's like, pepper steak. But the sauce is, then you make sort of like a teriyaki sauce to put on here. So it's got green pepper, orange pepper, red pepper, green onion, regular onion, and then the steak. And then I made this, so, well, I don't know what, okay, so our trucker friend, he made some cilantro lime chicken once, I don't know, like last month, and he bought this cilantro lime rice, but it's like made from vegetables or whatever, so I bought the same rice, but I just got the garlic and herb seasoned one. And it's not bad. It tastes like rice. It has a ricey consistency and everything. It was pretty easy to cook too. You just put the water in there, let it boil, put the rice in there, and take it off the heat, and just cover it until and let it do its thing. It's hot. Now I use I think one of them was definitely flank steak. And then the other one, or at least one of them was what I thought was flank steak, and then the other one was, I think it definitely was flank steak, but it was made for like stir fry. That's good. It was my first time. I didn't taste it since I had made it. And then when we was out, we kept getting food. Like, I don't think we got food that night. I don't think, but no, he ended up eating one of the meals when I first got on the truck, but I wasn't hungry. I was yeah, I wasn't hungry because I think I had just ate. Didn't I do a video? I'm sure I did a video. So
powering off.
I was listening to music on my Bluetooth speaker. That's really good. And my sister she was making it, and I was asking her about it and told her I had made it for our meal prep. But yeah, I'll be seeing when he has a refrigerator and a microwave on the truck. I'm like, obviously we're both trying to like lose weight or whatever. Me, I'm not, just eat healthy. Well, he's wanting to eat healthier, and I was like, shoot, I've tried to meal prep you some stuff so you'll have stuff to eat or whatever. And have healthy options so that, you don't, one, have to eat out all the time, and two, if you do, I mean, you just won't be tempted by, unhealthy options. I'm sure you ain't gonna be perfect, and you probably will, because what did we get? We ended up, we had to go to Boston. He picked up something here, drove to Boston, dropped that off, had to go to Philadelphia, pick something up, and take it back to Boston, grab something from Boston, come back to Ohio. You know, I think he's going back to Boston tomorrow. But anyway, so we may have not have eaten. It's so funny. The last time, not this past time, but the last time I was on truck, he was trying to take me to this Jamaican spot that's in New York, that he's eaten before and get food. So I forget what time we went. Maybe we went and it was, well, the last time I was on truck and we went, I think they were closing. And he had called previously and like they basically made a plate for him and stuff, but this particular time we tried to call and like, you know, get them to make us a plate so that it'd be ready, because we wasn't going to get there until after they closed. But the last time he had did that, you know, they definitely saved the plate for him and stuff. But they just would not do it the last time. And then when we got there, they didn't have what he wanted. So we didn't get anything. So then this week, whatever happened the first time we passed through there, I don't think they had what he wanted. Then, so we didn't get anything. Then we went, did we go the next day? So say we went, what's that, Tuesday? I don't know, we went back on Sunday morning. It was like about to be 11, but they were serving breakfast, so they still didn't have what he wanted. But he ended up getting something called porridge or whatever, which I hadn't heard of it before, but it was actually really good. To me, it was reminiscent of you know, it's a Jamaican spot. It was reminiscent of cream of wheat. That's exactly what it tastes like to me, but better. It definitely had an almondy, cinnamony flavor. And then we got monkey bread. Oh no, zucchini bread, not monkey bread. So that was that. Then we went back later on Sunday and they had what he wanted, but they only had a little bit. I think I was always going to get oxtails, and so they had that. So we got oxtails, rice and peas, cabbage, and plantains. And it was really good. I was like, man, we finally got it, because it was like the fourth time. Maybe the fourth or fifth time we had tried to go there, and they just didn't have what we wanted. The one time when they were about to close, we just ended up going down the street and getting some Chinese food from this spot, and it was good. But yeah, so we got the Jamaican food. We had a long, like, layover, if you will, in Boston yesterday. No, yeah, was it yesterday? Yeah. So, we got breakfast at this little diner. Then this morning, we got breakfast at Arby's, which I'm sure is just because it was in a truck stop or whatever, but I obviously never knew that Arby's sold breakfast. I'm sure they don't anywhere else. I don't even know how I'm still up right now. I'm sure I'm about to, like, I'm going to take a shower and then probably crash, because your girl, I'm definitely tired, but this is good. I'll try to make sure I post the recipe video on from Instagram in the description box of. I guess I'll post it in or put it in this video. Mm. I made a whole bunch of extra sauce because I knew I was making a whole lot of meat and I just wanted to make sure we had enough sauce. So, but you know one thing about when you use cornstarch, for me in my experience, when I use cornstarch to thicken up sauces versus like it just being naturally thick, it'll be thick that day, but then when you reheat it or something, like it just be thin. I don't know what that's about. I'm sorry I can't remember what the name of that rice is. So I told y'all I had did some vlogging. So the actual cooking portion of this part will be in the vlog, but you ain't gonna see the vlog until probably tomorrow, cause it's gonna take a whole lot of me to edit that video, and I can't do it today. I don't know if I was said this. I thought I was talking about it at the beginning, but my apologies for not posting the video today. But it was gonna be the vlog video, but the way my computer is set up, I just knew it was gonna act funny, and I was on the truck, and the reason my video was late the last couple of days because I was using my mobile hotspot to upload, and it was taking forever. I probably should use his because I remember last time I was on the truck, for whatever reason, my computer wouldn't stay connected to the VPN, and I really need the VPN for work, and I really need to be connected that day because it was something I had to get done that day. But I used his hotspot, and it worked just fine. But I got 8 trash and trash, so, you know. But it's just really good. It's nice and flavorful. Mm. Mm. I'm glad that the steak isn't tough, but I did make sure I didn't like cook it too long, you know. And I gotta tell y'all a story. So we had a super long layover yesterday. What we should have did was we went to sleep because like he had to do most of the driving last night because we came all the way from Boston and needed to be here. I think it needed to be here by like 2:30 or something like that. And we didn't get here on time, but well, we were just doing extra stuff. So we was in Target. What did we go into Target for? We went in the Target. I don't know if we went to just use the bathroom or if we actually went in there for something, but after we left the diner, we went into Target. Now, he has 2 trucks, and the one that we rode in, I call her Big Red. Well, I think I'm just call the other one Snow White or something like that. It's white. But anywho, and Big Red, he has a remote, opener or whatever. What's it called? Key fob. He has a key fob for Big Red. But and he usually have a spare key, but he didn't have a spare key because he usually give it to me, especially like if we go to a truck stop and get in, like take showers or whatever. So I'll be able to get in the truck if he's not done or whatever before I, when I get down. So anywho, he used the key fob. I want to say, but I don't even think he used the key fob to lock the door. I think that he locked the door from the inside, but the truck was still running. And so we get back to the truck. He's trying to use the key fob to open the door, and it's not opening. And the truck is running, and diesel is expensive, so it's just like, ugh. So he keep trying to press the button. Like I said, he didn't have a spare key with him, but he does have one. It just wasn't with him, and so and I guess I didn't notice that he's turned the truck off every time we've gotten out the truck. I thought that it was still running. But yeah, you can't open it with the key fob if it's running. But my car is like that. My car is like that, but I don't know. I mean, I did think it was interesting that he left the truck running, but I think we probably just was only going in there to use the bathroom. But we usually only leave the truck running if we have a truck stop. Most of the time, we turn it off. So anywho, we're in a crisis because the dang on the key is locked in the truck, and so he was thinking that maybe he called a dealer for the brand of truck that he has to see what we could do. Or see like if that was the issue that the truck was on, and so he wouldn't be able to use the key fob. And they basically was like, yeah, or if the key is in the on position, whatever. So they basically in a nutshell, well, he came up with the idea that maybe if he undid the battery, then the truck was shut off, and then he could use the key fob to open the door, because maybe obviously the truck was running, so it wasn't going to open then. So right before we had came to Target because this was the second time we went to Target. We went there to use the bathroom and take some pictures take pictures of him in front of his truck or whatever, because he has like uniforms. Anywho, oh my goodness, girl, get to the point. I don't know, y'all need all the details, whatever. So there was a police officer there, like just chilling or whatever. He wasn't like, he was on duty, but not like at Target, and he's chilling in the cruiser. And he pulls up next to him and messes with the police officer and tells him that, hey, you can't park right here. You're taking up multiple spaces, and the police officer just laughs. So, while he had opened the hood, we're going to call him Mr. C, okay? Because I need y'all to. So, Mr. C opens up the hood. Not the police officer, my guy. Mr. C, we're gonna call Mr. C, okay? He opens the hood of the truck or whatever to try and see like maybe what he can like basically tamper with to turn the truck, to get the truck to turn off. So police officer comes back, and I'm thinking that that's just where he'd be chilling at when he ain't got to run or call to go on or whatever. So he comes back, but then he gets out the truck and asks us what's going on, and Mr. C explains what's going on, and the police officer was like, okay, well, Mr. C asked the police officer if he had like tools or anything, and the police officer didn't have any tools, but he was like, we could, ask the mechanic. There was a cruiser or like the police department mechanic or whatever was not far, so he took Mr. C to the police station I thought was to get tools from the mechanic, but they ended up bringing the mechanic back. And he had all the, necessary equipment. Like he had the little stick that you can like stick in the door. And he had the like little blood pressure cuff looking thing or whatever. But man, they definitely make it hard to break into a semi truck, because he was trying, man. It took a while, but, you barely could get the blood pressure cuff in there to like, pump it up. But even when he did, it wasn't really working for real. So then And when they left, it was just the one police officer, Mr. C. When they came back, the lieutenant and the police mechanic and Mr. C and the police officer came back or whatever, and we all. Well, I'm just standing there because what the heck am I gonna do? We did try to also see if maybe it was a dead battery issue. That wasn't a thing. We did get the truck turned off because, and I'm saying we, like I had anything to do with it. The mechanic was like, well, if you take it, undoing the battery, not gonna turn it off or whatever. The battery is it's just a starter. It's just a starter. He's from Boston, so he had that Boston accent or whatever. But anywho, but I just remember how he said it's just a starter. And that it just gets the engine going or whatever. But it's really what did he say? Was it the starter or something? Not the batteries being the starter, but like the starter or something else in the car that he would have needed to figure out how to undo. So the battery, that idea, I guess. Oh, wow, I thought, hey, I ain't know. Wow, it sounded good to me. I mean, because when you take batteries out of stuff, don't they start working? But yeah, anyway. So they end up taking the power fuse out of the fuse box, and that did turn the truck off. But then we thinking, okay, we didn't figure out how to turn the truck off. And this is after, was this after he had tried initially to try and get do it how the locksmiths do it, where they, take the blood pressure cuff and then they stick something in the door to either pull the handle or maybe press the button. So he was trying and it wasn't working, but he also was a little shorter and stuff like that. He in height, so he couldn't really reach where he was trying to do it. And so the lieutenant was also trying to help as well, but they wasn't really getting it. So they, like I said, removed the power for the engine power fuse or whatever that did turn the truck off. And so we thinking okay, we got the truck off. It's gonna work. The key fob's gonna work. It did not work. So then they called the police station mechanic, called the fire department mechanic. He came and they used the fire truck or that mechanic's, the bed of his pickup truck, so that the police mechanic could reach up higher on the door. And he was finally able, I think one of the problems was that he couldn't figure out where the rubber was, and if the rubber was on the door or the rubber was on the truck or whatever, because that was going to determine how he could get the blood pressure cuff thing in there to pump open the door, and then to stick the little rod thing that he had. Eventually, he did get the stick in there and was able to open the door finally. But I mean, that whole journey and process took maybe an hour. But it did save Mr. C money, because otherwise he was going to have to call a locksmith. But I mean, I feel like we'd been doing the same thing, because they literally do the same thing. Like I seen my mom, whenever my mom locked herself out her car when she was over here one time, that's what the dude did or whatever, which I thought was pretty interesting. So anywho, and we did try it. I went into Target and bought another battery for the key fob to see if that was what it was. It was not the battery. It's just that you can't unlock the door with the key fob while it's running. So yeah, we had a pretty adventurous day yesterday. And that was low key wore us out, man. Well, we still didn't go to sleep after that. We still up. We should have went to sleep, because I think we went to go take showers and stuff after that. And then we went back, I think after we took the showers, or maybe before we went, I don't know. Mr. C saw the police officers, and then he just got out and had a long conversation with them. But it made him kind of feel, he calls it a humbling experience, because he hasn't really had the best run-ins with law enforcement or whatever. And obviously, given the climate of society today or whatever, and just a lot of what's going on, it just kind of made him give him renewed, I guess, hope, restored hope in law enforcement or whatever for now. But yeah, so that was cool. I'm glad that it was a happy ending, basically, and we were able to get in there, and he didn't have to spend no money. But I did like the fact that the officers did not stop. Nobody stopped until we got in there. Like, they didn't give up. They were just like, well, you should just call, you know, a locksmith or anything. Like, they just kept trying until they got it. And I really appreciated them for doing that or whatever. And even the police officer for coming to see what was going on, because he clearly could have been, you know, minding his business or whatever, you know, minding the business that pays him and stuff. But he came over and like talked to us, and he kept me company, or, you know, talked to me while everybody else was doing the work, because it wasn't nothing I could do now. And another salty thing was that usually if we just popping out the truck for a little bit, I don't bring nothing with me. Like, I don't bring my phone or nothing like that. I have my watch, but like, I ain't have my phone. I have my purse or whatever, but I, you know, stuff. And so, but I mean, it was cool. It was cool. It's not like I really needed it. And hey, it was locked in the truck. So, but yeah, so the police mechanic ended up, I'll tell you, he ended up getting it in the door, getting the little rod thing in the door and pressing the unlock button. And that's how we got in there. So that was interesting. Okay, now I got to go because one, I'm sleepy, and the video about to cut off. So, that's it. That's all, y'all. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Leave some comments down below. Let us know things you like to see us try, things you like to see us cook. Interact with us because we do like to hear from you. And subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and subscribe. Hit that bell so you get notifications the next time we post a video. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace out. It was funny because Mr. C, we were listening to Kevin Hart, Heart Radio or whatever, you know, XM, and we were listening to a stand-up. And this guy was basically telling, his joke was about how women tell stories and stuff like that, and how, you know, we got to go like me. Literally what I just did. I don't even know how many minutes it took me to tell y'all this story, but, you know, we got to give you the details. We got to tell you everybody who is involved in the story, whether they're relevant or not. You just need to know all the details. And then it was so funny because he said by the end, nobody's listening. They've tuned out, like the men have tuned out or whatever. Now, I will say that Mr. C, he do be listening, though, because he can identify when I've told him a story already, because he's just like, I'm not sitting through that again, no. But yeah, but at least he do be listening, though, so I will give him that. But he was laughing a little bit too hard, okay, because it's definitely me. I am women who tell stories that, I mean, long, roundabout, convoluted stories. And I've already told y'all about how my sister hates that I can never answer yes or no questions with just yes or no, but I just feel like you need the details. Like, you need details. Like, I can't just say, I got to tell you why I'm saying yes or no. I'm going to try to work on my succinctness, but y'all know that's not going to work out. Like, it's not going to happen, but I don't know. I'm going to try. There's going to be some short videos, ain't they? Because I don't know. All right, for real, I'm out.